Hello, everyone. No one in that room believed it was possible. Blue and red lights were flashing across the screens. Journalists were smiling. Experts looked calm. Some people had already prepared their victory speeches, because according to every poll, every prediction, every American expert, Donald Trump was supposed to lose. But as the night grew darker, something strange began to happen. Florida turned red. Ohio followed. Then Pennsylvania started to shift. Laughter turned into silence. A reporter whispered, "This wasn't supposed to happen." Millions of Americans sat frozen in front of their TV screens. Some felt hope, some felt fear, some felt anger. And one man, standing quietly with his family, knew his life was about to change forever. This wasn't just an election night. This was the night Donald Trump shocked the world. If you love Donald Trump, if you support him, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for one reason and one reason only: Donald Trump. Did you know? Donald Trump's rise was never written into destiny. Why? Because he wasn't a politician. He didn't talk like a politician. He didn't even look like a politician. For years, he was known as a businessman, loud voice, unshakable confidence, and a controversial personality. A man who rose, then fell, and stood back up again. When he announced his presidential run in 2015, people laughed. Comedians mocked him. Politicians ignored him. The media called it a joke. "It'll be over in a month," they said. But Trump didn't stop. Where others read scripts, he spoke from the heart. Where others avoided controversy, he walked straight into it. And slowly, quietly, people began to listen, because America was tired. Tired of empty promises, tired of polished speeches, tired of being ignored. Trump spoke directly to those people. He didn't promise perfection. He promised change. To some, he was hope. To others, he was fear. Dinner tables turned into battlegrounds. Friends blocked each other on social media. The country felt divided. And still, the experts kept saying, "There's no path for him to win." Then came the night that took everyone's breath away. November 8th, 2016. Early results looked normal. News anchors smiled confidently. The graphs followed expectations. Trump sat quietly. No celebration, no victory speech, just waiting. Because he knew something the polls didn't. He knew the small towns, the factory workers, the truck drivers, the forgotten voices. They showed up to vote. Hello, everyone. Then it happened. Something no one had imagined. Florida flipped. A moment of silence, a correction, a nervous laugh. Then Ohio. The room changed. Phones started ringing, whispers grew louder, faces turned serious. One analyst said quietly, "If this trend continues, we are heading into unknown territory." Across America, sleep disappeared. Some people prayed, some cried, some celebrated quietly, and Donald Trump remained silent. Hello, everyone. When Pennsylvania turned red, there was no doubt left. The impossible had become possible. A man with no political background, a man who didn't even have full support from his own party, had become president of the United States. In a single night, everything changed. The businessman was now the leader of the most powerful nation on earth. Victory didn't arrive with loud cheers. It arrived with silence. Trump walked onto the stage, slower than usual. His voice was calm. He didn't sound like a conqueror. He sounded like a man who understood the weight of responsibility. He spoke about unity, about duty, about serving all Americans. Behind the confidence was a burden. Hello, everyone. That night wasn't just about Donald Trump. It was bigger than that. It was about being underestimated, about being mocked, about being told you don't belong here, and still standing again and again and again. It was proof that the world doesn't always move by predictions. Sometimes, it moves by belief. Hello, everyone. Whether you love him or hate him, that night proved one thing. The system can be shaken. The impossible can become possible. And one voice, even a controversial one, can shake the world. Trump once said, "I like thinking big. If you're going to think anyway, think big." That night, thinking big won. And maybe this story isn't really about Donald Trump. Maybe it's about you. That moment when you were told you couldn't win, that you weren't good enough, that the odds were against you. Maybe the world hasn't believed in you yet. But remember this: on a November night, when no one expected it, when every door seemed closed, history changed. So if you're standing at the edge of doubt, don't step back. Because sometimes, the night before, success feels exactly like failure. And the world is only shocked when someone refuses to quit.